Good afternoon, all of you. As said, I will give you some insight on how MediMarket is using the full customer experience suite to better serve their customers and to support their absolutely growing business in a pretty mature market. So let me start with a few words about MediMarket. I will give myself, so I'm from SQLI. I will give the presentation for practical reasons, but people of MediMarket are in the audience as well. The picture says it all, basically, what sector we are in. I think it's not hidden. Pharmacy, parapharmacy, retail. So basically, this is in what sector we are. MediMarket started 5 years ago, more or less, 4 to 5 years ago, with a very, very clear ambition to shake up the pharmacy sector in Belgium. So their mission statement is democratizing health expertise for the benefit of all. So how do they do this? Well, they have a pretty strong, aggressive retail approach with everyday discount prices, with a strong promotional calendar, but on top of that also accessible services. Think about nutrition services, think about aromatherapy, think about cellulitis treatment, and those type of services that they offer to the customers. So where is MediMarket standing today? MediMarket has 31 retail stores, parapharmacy retail stores in Belgium and Luxembourg, and 18 pharmacies. And most of the time, those are on the same location. They are integrated together. So they have 2 e-commerce sites. The first one is called MediMarket, which is a parapharmacy website, and the other one is called Pharmacy by MediMarket, who, for legal reasons, has to be separate and has both the parapharmacy and the pharmacy assortment. And we're talking about 30,000 active references. As I said, they do have aggressive growth ambitions. So only for this year, they still plan to open another 15 points of sales just in Belgium and Luxembourg. They have a first international acquisition that is realized in Italy with 4 points of sales. And just to give you an insight on a flavor on the size, they had a turnover of 70 million last year, and they project a 200 million turnover next year. So we talk about ×3 in 3 years. So I think aggressive is the proper word here. And of course, they do have an important investment in their online channel, and this is basically the main topic of my presentation today. So, when MediMarket came to us, to SQLI, they did already have 2 websites. So why change? Well, the first reason was that their legacy web shops was reaching their limit. They had some performance systems, and of course, by their increasing success, that would only get worse. That's for sure. A second point is that they needed a platform that would be able to support all the different services, all the different innovations that they want to put into the market to disrupt this very classical, traditional market. A third point was that there was a very clear need to have a good understanding and an aggregation of all touch points, all data collected in the different touch points, both online and in store, in order to collect this data, aggregate this data, and use this to have a true customer-centric approach. And last but not least, given their strong ambitions, they really were looking for a solid and stable platform they can build on for the coming years. So, once that these objectives were clearly defined, the first step was to define together with MediMarket what package, what solution would best fit their needs. And well, guess what? Why are we here? Because the SAP Customer Experience Suite was clearly the winner that came out of this analysis, out of this fit gap analysis we organized with them. We faced the project and the program. We first started with the marketing component. Why? Because we had there a very truly out-of-the-box approach. We implemented the out-of-the-box solution, and that was refined and customized along the different campaigns that were launched for the business. And in the meantime, in parallel, we started the implementation and development of the SAP Commerce application and the SAP Service Cloud application that are jointly developed and go live. So currently we are live in a friends and family mode, and the full-blown launch is projected for the coming weeks. So this is the current state. So the solution on itself, as I said, 3 components: SAP Commerce, Service, SAP Service, and SAP Marketing. Let's start with the commerce part, because it's clearly the biggest one. We do have those 2 integrated websites. As we said, for legal reasons, they need to keep 2 websites there, but they're built on the same platform, on the same database, and with one single integrated PIM. Yeah? And we spent quite a time on this PIM. Why? Because we really want to ensure that it would fit and integrate in the current overall IT landscape of MediMarket, the actual landscape, and the future state landscape. Another interesting feature or module functionality we implemented is the so-called ASM, Assistant Sales Module, that enables the retail associates, so the point of sales associates, to take over the customer account when they are in the store, and make some entries and tickets and orders in the name of the account. For example, a very classical example is: I am a customer, I come to MediMarket, and I want to buy a very specific product that, shame, it is out of stock. So as a retail associate, I can help this customer say like, okay, I will get into the website with your account. I can directly do that, and I will enter an order for this specific product that will be delivered with you in a couple of days at home. Yeah. Since it is done on his account, the customer can easily follow up the evolution of this order in his My Account page later on. When we come to the SAP Service Cloud component, there we first had an integration of all contacts with the customer, regardless of the channel they came through. So all interaction that come from the commerce, all the questions and tickets that come from the commerce are sent to the SAP Service Cloud, and all contacts that are initiated directly by the customer by phone or by mail are entered by the customer service team directly in the system. The customers are automatically recognized, and what we implemented as well or customized is different workflows that support the customer service team on the different processes they go through within their daily work, to have a very efficient and effective handling of all different actions they take with the customer. And finally, in the Marketing Cloud component, we have all customers, both online and offline, that are aggregated. We can segment on those, and we can use all the data as well that come over from commerce and service into the marketing system to have very targeted communication and very targeted individual actions to focus group or individual customers. I'll come back on that later on. So this is basically the 3 individual components that we implemented, but what is really interesting also is to see how this all works together, what the integration is between those components. So let's start with the integration between commerce and service, and we see that by having a very focused integration there, we enable the MediMarket team to better serve their customers. Let me give you 3 examples. First, when a customer registers, does this work? No. When a customer registers on the website, yeah, automatically we will make a call to the point of sales loyalty system that exists in the stores from MediMarket to see if the customer exists there already. We enrich the data with the data we have fetched there, and all these data are then sent to the SAP service component, so that automatically the service team and the customer service team recognizes the customer with all data we have about him. A second example or second point is that through the SAP service component, the customer service team has access to the full order history of the customer, which is of great help, of course, when you are in contact with the customer on whatever discussion or whatever question he might have. And thirdly, we also have a follow-up of all orders and tickets that are created by the customer in the commerce part. For example, a return order will be sent through the SAP Service Cloud, will be handled through the service team, but all status, all follow-up, both logistically and finance, payment status will be sent through to the website so that the customer can easily follow up the status of his request in his My Account page. When we have a look at the integration with Marketing Cloud, there we see that this integration with commerce and service towards marketing increases and enhances the efficiency of the marketing abilities. So what we have here is that all actions, all interactions that happen on the website, that happen within Service Cloud, are sent to the marketing component. This means product views, this means product clicks, this means orders, of course, purchases, abandoned carts, requests, regular questions, newly created customers. All these actions are sent to marketing. And where you can have, first of all, a better segmentation of your customer database, and secondly, very specific actions that are triggered from marketing. For example, it could be a welcome mail, it could be an activation promotion specifically based on a demand of a customer, and stuff like that. Typical example, you have a customer that buys a specific type of vitamins on a regular basis. When he buys his pack, 3 weeks later, we can send him a gentle reminder or an activation promotion because we know out of this data that more or less his pack of vitamins should be empty by then. Yeah. There is also a backward stream from marketing to the commerce part, since with the segmentation we have, we are enabled to have personalized product recommendations that are given on the website to every single customer that is recognized there. We also have an integration with Facebook that enables you to use the market segmentation and customer segmentation to use the digital campaign and the campaign content, to use the digital assets that are created within the marketing component and send them directly to create directly your Facebook campaign without having to maintain this a second time within Facebook environments. Yeah. So these are all just examples of the typical integrations that we did with these different components. And we are pretty, what happens is that what we see is that by this integration, the business value of each of the individual components is increased by the integration between them. Well, so I just have some lessons learned I want to share with you. First of all, of course, it helps to have a good IT integrator that knows the different components and can help you to guide you to avoid some common pitfalls. A second one, and this is a classical one, we say like, okay, it's much more than an IT project. And I remember I said the same for other projects that we did. But in this case, we're talking about customer experience. We talk about systems. We talk about solutions that support and that have direct contact, support the direct contact with the end customer. So it is extremely, extremely visible. And this is why you don't only need a strong business sponsorship, but also really close collaboration with all the different levels of the business, senior management, middle management, operations, because you are directly talking to the customer and you want to make sure that this is all aligned. I'm talking about some new skills, and I think they're mainly about two skills. One is the UX, the user experience, that is extremely important, mainly in the commerce part, because this is how the customer will see and feel what you present to him. So this UX, customer experience, a seamless integration, and how you have the flow of the different screens and the location within the different screens is really important. A second one is mainly on the marketing level, because we see that with the marketing component here, and with all the data we have, we can go from a more mass media to very segmented, individual, and very point-to-point communication, and this requires just a different marketing mindset to handle this properly. And last but not least, I'd like to don't underestimate the change management. And then I speak specifically about the collaboration between your different teams. You do have here a platform that has a high integration and then a high collaboration between the different systems. Yeah, but this needs automatically also a high collaboration and integration of the different teams. And we're talking about marketing teams together with the operational teams steering the website, together with the customer service teams supporting the customer afterwards. This interaction is very intense, much more intense than it might be before. Voila, that was it. My aim was to give you some indications about the individual products, but especially about the integration and how this integration of the products increases the individual business value of each of them. I just give you some example of it, and we'll be more than happy, myself and my colleagues, to give you some more examples of some more insights in the SQLi booths. Back left, 7.2 and 7.8 are the booths. And of course, if you have some questions right now, I don't know if you have still some time, or if we do have 4 minutes left for some questions, if any. Thank you.